Mm-mm. And there's the countdown. So hopefully we are live. What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost. It is Sunday, which means you guys get a Sunday stream at around this time, where we kind of wrap up a bunch of the news that's been going on this week with me and pop culture, a little bit of everything. And I am blessed and honored to have two people with me. One right next to me is the great, the honorable, the incredible Stieg Kenobi. Stieg, how are you doing, my friend?
Hello there. I'm quite well. Deputizing for Sith Kryptonian, and I aim to make him proud.
Sith is gonna come on with me soon. He had a couple things going on tonight, but I am planning on possibly doing something with him Tuesday night as well. We'll talk about that later. It involves eating an incredible amount of tacos. An absolutely incredible amount of tacos and probably throwing up, but we'll see. Hopefully I don't throw up, but you know, it's always a possibility.
So you're gonna give it a hurl.
Yeah, give it a good old hurl. That's right. And then I also have with me 19K Fox, who has accomplished something that no other person on this panel has, and that's putting out a video that got like 2,500 views. So that's pretty amazing, man. How's it going?
It's going great, Ryan. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Ready to talk a little Dark Fate, and I'm not talking about Star Wars this time. We're talking about a different franchise, Terminator.
Yeah, that's true. And Dark Fate is a good way to describe the box office outlook so far for this most recent installation of Terminator. So we're definitely going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Star Wars, of course, because we always do on this channel and in this corner of the internet. We're going to talk Star Wars Expanded Universe. We're going to talk a little bit about the box office in general, how Joker could somehow be on its way to $1 billion freaking dollars with no China release. And we'll talk about something Jason Momoa said, talking about Justice League, specifically the Snyder Cut. But we'll save that for the end. And also for my boy Apollo Patriot, who has been making meme after meme after meme. I'm going to do a little meme review at the end of the stream for some of the best ones that I've seen in my server lately. So thank you so much, Apollo Patriot. You've been doing the Lord's work. Oh my God. What is that? What is that? That is a pixelated Ryan shirt. Look at that.
That's right. Support the cause, people. Support the cause.
Fox is the one person in the world that owns a pixelated Ryan shirt. So you should be proud of that, sir.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh, I am. And I'm going to auction this off. $8,000 and this could be yours. $8,000.
That's a good deal, guys. I'm just saying. Or you can go to here. I should actually find that link for you. If you want a pixelated Ryan shirt. I also have, look at this. This is the first time you guys are seeing this shirt. This will be available soon, I hope. Working out a few things. I actually have a friend of mine that's making this for me. It's not Teesprings. It's a good friend that I work with. So hopefully it'll help her out a little bit. It'll help me out. And yeah, it'd be pretty cool. So let me, boom, get your pixelated Ryan shirts there. I'm sure. Don't everybody rush it. You don't want to crash Teesprings, all right? So just be careful. And we have a super chat that I saw. Is this some update to StreamYard? It's highlighted. Look at that.
I think it is, yeah.
That's incredible. Mary Mayhem, $1.99, lurking. Well, thank you, Mary. We're always glad to have you here, whether you're lurking or in the chat or whatever. We feel your presence. So thank you so much, Mary. And let's say hi to the chat real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Scroll all the way back up here. The Senate, yeah, 2 more hours. I think you were the first person in here who thought it was live. Tricked you. Sorry. Joker is going to beat everything movie. What's up, Apollo Patriot? Declan Sullivan, I'll watch tomorrow. I dropped a like. Well, thanks, man. You were in my stream with me last night when we were doing, when I was gaming. So that was fun. Morgul's Tower, may the woke be with you. John Boyega. Yeah, we're going to talk about John Boyega. He's been an absolute mad lad lately on Twitter, and I'm loving it. Dude just kind of says how he is or how he feels, which sometimes we like because we like what he says. Sometimes we hate because we hate what he says. But I've been liking it the past couple of days. It's been funny. Jack is here. What's up, Jack? Terminator woke fate. Yes. And it's dark, unfortunately.
Dark and woke.
Dark and woke.
It's like a double entendre.
It's not enlightening
at all.
Morgul's Tower asks, "What's the drink of choice for tonight's stream?" Drink of choice is a little bit of bullet bourbon, which I'm getting close to out of.
Oh, nice.
And some water. So, well, not at the same time, but separate cups. What about you, Fox? What are you drinking?
Coffee. It's going to be a late night for me. For those of you who don't know, I'm a bit of a Batwoman aficionado. So I got a late night tonight of watching it and reviewing it and editing. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Sunday night.
I need to start watching it just for the lulls. I think. I don't know if I have any time.
No one needs to. No one needs to at all. Just stop by my channel, check it out. I'll review it for you. Let me do the Lord's work for you. There's no reason you should suffer. I'll bear that cross for you.
It's funny. I always see John Talks. John Talks is constantly doing the reviews, and he's always like, "It can't get any worse," and then it did. For the people that are actually doing it the whole time, it's freaking crazy. Teresa Martin's here, one of my amazing patrons. As soon as I get done saying hi to chat, I will say hi to the patrons as well. Laura, Ryan stole my fan fiction stories here. Got to get some din. Well, I hope it's good. Flip Doubts here. What is up, Flip? And what an ass, what a bitch, what a cuck. Hello, sir. Another one of my patrons. Justin Proper, the newly named, rebranded Justin Proper. Dislike for waiting, but he still keeps with traditions. So there you go. Pixel Ryan's happening. Nah. Not today, son. Not today.
Boom.
Everyone says they're waiting and they don't like it. Well, thanks for so patiently waiting. Pixelated Ryan. George Big Dick Lucas is here. Took an hour to clean the makeup off, but I made it. I'm going to show that on stream, buddy. That was really funny. And Morgul's Tower is just like crazy in the chat early. He will have his cup. He puts it in a canteen for his live streams. No, Jeremy will bring waffles. I have mead. Everyone's going crazy. There you go, Benzo, one of my fantastic mods. If you haven't already, don't forget to smash the melee button, subscribe, share if you haven't already. Yeah, please do, guys. We have 30 likes so far, 43 people watching. Thank you, guys. That's incredible. Yeah. Matt Wilkins, I came for free waffles. There are free waffles tonight, right? No, there are not. The free waffles will be maybe next Saturday on the hater stream. Jeremy's going to be handing out waffles like it's nobody's business, likely. We'll talk more about that later, too. Orange Hat Reviews. What's up, buddy? Good to see you here. Everyone's saying waffle. I'll take a pizza. I would love a pizza right now. Ugh. Maverick MX. What's going on? Okay, who the fook are those two dislikes? It was probably me and and Justin Proper, if I had to guess. Yeah.
Makes sense.
That's my guess. Big Daddy Waffles. Yeah, Daddy Waffle happening. Hashtag cancel Ryan, RK Outpost. Shadow Critius is here. Soul Assassin's here. All of my friends. Ryan Bush is here. They're going to kill the Falcon. Well, we'll see, Lawrence. We'll try to stay away from spoilers. Stevie J Reviews. What's going on? That guy is here. What the hell are you wearing, Ryan? I told you I'm wearing my logo, which will be available soon. I promise. I'm just getting it set up. Just beat Jedi Outcast again. Congratulations. Oh, Darth Thanos. Hey, y'all. Darth Incel here. What's up, man? I love being called an incel. That's one of my favorite insults as I look at my children that run around and try to keep quiet during the stream. So
good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, you tie them up, they're good.
Yeah.
So
nice closet somewhere. It's fine.
Is these taco? Oh, tacos. You don't like tacos, Laura? Come on. Angelus Draven. Hail. Fox, you sexy beast. Oh, I've got a couple super chats too. I can't believe they finally updated this thing to show super chats. Here's one from Lethal Lightning, a classic. Lethal's a really classy guy. He says Ryan gay. So I'm not quite sure what that means. For two Australian koalas I appreciate it.
That's a lot, though, because Australians are so oppressed. You can buy a whole village down there for $2.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe two.
That's very impressive. Yeah. Let's see. There's a little bitch in chat named Jesse from Exaggeration Nation. No, I love Jesse. He says, "Do they make your shirt for men?" They do, in fact, sir, and you will be able to get one soon. And I expect to see you repping it. Get rid of that trash Geeks and Gamers stuff that you wear. You can make commercials for me when I get big enough.
I guess he wants to know if he can buy one for his boyfriend. Burn, Jesse, burn.
Dang, Stieg. That is why Stieg is the best. That is awesome. But thank you, Jesse. I appreciate it, buddy. And I'm looking forward to Tuesday. I'm looking forward to it a lot. So it should be really good. Damn you, Stieg, he says. Redubbed, that guy. Redubbed or resubbed? Maybe redubbed. Bat Wayman's needs an autopsy. Ugh. Yeah. Woke? Dark and woke? Maybe. Just watch Return of the Jedi today. Notice Obi-Wan Force Ghost moved the tree branches after Yoda's death.
Maybe he was branching out.
Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. I never thought about that. We always keep in mind when he talks about having to face Vader, Obi-Wan says, "I cannot help you," meaning he can't interfere. He can't interfere in any way in their duel. So I'd be interesting to watch that. I will watch it again. We've got another super chat from Laura Story. $2. Begun the merch wars have. Yes, they have indeed, for sure. Rob D's here. OG Star Wars is here. Oh, redubbed about proper, yeah. You need my logo shirt. Well, I will let everybody know as soon as it is available. We're having a couple different colors, so should be good. U.S. Dutch Kitty's here. Hello, U.S. Dutch Kitty. Do I think Amazon's going to cancel The Boys? I don't know why they would. It seemed like there was a really good reception to it. First time I heard about it. But you never know what can happen. Memes and merch. There you go. Darth Thanos says Epstein killed himself. Well, yeah, I try not to lie on stream too much, so I won't tackle that anymore. But all right, let's get into. Let me thank my patrons real quick. I know Fox appreciates my Epstein joke. Let me get in my patrons real quick who, without I wouldn't be able to do some of the things I'm able to do. So big thank you to my patrons. It means a lot to me that you guys support me. So that is Teresa Martin, who is always so supportive of everyone in this community. I appreciate you. Absolutely. Master Voss, Mary Mayhem, what an ass, what a bitch, what a cuck. George Big Dick Lucas, also known as Story Man. And then Huge Ass and Seth Saunders. Thank you guys so much for being my patrons. I appreciate it. And I might as well throw that link in there too. If you guys want to, come check it out. Some Discord perks, some extra videos, some stuff like that. Input on the videos that I do make. So I'm looking forward to making a couple of videos for people that have already got to me this November. So it should be fun. But that should be in chat now. I don't think it went through because I don't understand how StreamYard works sometimes.
I think.
But, all right, there we go. There we go. Awesome. And we got another super chat from OG Star Wars. $9. Looking forward to Ryan Pixel shirts. Yeah, those are fun. Fox, you're the only one in existence. You can tell the people.
Listen, if this doesn't say quality, I don't know what does.
If that doesn't scream 144p, then I don't know. I don't know what else you can get.
I don't know.
But thank you. Clinton's didn't do nothing. There you
go. Come on now, Darth Thanos.
That's funny. All right. So I've said hi to my patrons. I have a PO box, and I got Mary Mayhem sent me my first package to make me feel like I was not alone. That was a long time ago, and I appreciate it, Mary. She got me this sweet Star Wars, zing zing, the Star Wars keychain right here. Which is incredible. So thank you, Mary. But I also got something from RC from the NYC. He let me know this is in the PO box. So I don't know if he's in chat or not. I hope he is. But if not, he'll see it on replay. So I'm going to open this up. It's from 47 brand, which probably means it's a sports hat, if I had to guess. And I think that is a Chicago Cubs hat. That's what I think it is. But we will see.
I think it's a baseball bat.
A baseball bat?
Maybe a fishing pole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be a surfboard.
It's a rifle.
Oh, wow. Oh, dude, this is awesome. This is really cool. Now, RC from the NYC is a huge Yankees fan. So he was always talking about how he would like to see the Yankees and the Cubs in the World Series. And unfortunately, it didn't happen this year because my Cubs were awful. His Yankees were really good. But now he got me this Cubs hat, which is incredible. And he also sent me this, which is a Yankees hat. So I've never had any Yankees gear before. I'm not a Yankee hater or anything, but this is so awesome, dude. So thank you so much, RC from the NYC. That is amazing, man. God, that is cool.
Nice.
Thank you so much, dude. Oh, that means the world to me. My P.O. box is in the link in the description below if you guys want to check that out. But, God, that's so cool. Oh, Benzo. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. That is true. It's a new start there. A new start. So very cool, man. That means a lot. So, yeah, a couple snapbacks. Awesome. But we have said hi to the chat. We have opened awesome P.O. Box stuff. We have said hi to the patrons. So let's get into it, guys. Let's get into the splash at the box office that was Terminator Dark Fate. Now, Fox, you're the only person here that's seen this movie. And to be fair, based on the box office results, you may be the only person in the country that has seen this movie. So can you tell us a little bit about your thoughts of it? I saw your 2-minute review, but tell me your thoughts about it and, what you felt walking out of the theater.
Well, sitting down in the theater, it was the XD experience. I don't know if you're familiar with that with Cinemark. It's a huge theater, massive theater. They have the adults only section. And there was, I don't know, 20 people. It was really, really sparse. But I didn't think too much about that. I sat down and began to take in the movie. And in my 2 minutes review, my non-spoiler review, I said that there was a scene that I loved and a scene that I hated. Well, the scene that I love is the very beginning. And it kicks off with the footage of Sarah Connor from Terminator 2. And she's talking about the nightmare dream that she sees all the time. And and it's emotional. It takes you back to that movie, which was a much better film. And you're like, all right, I'm a fan. I'm engaged. You got me. Let's go, And then the next scene is them sitting on the beach with great de-aging technology. I see this, and you see young Sarah Connor. You see, John Connor's at the bar. He's still young, but he's getting like a soda or something. And it's just like, wow, what are they going to do? And a Terminator comes out of nowhere and kills John Connor, point blank range with a shotgun. And you're like, this is in the first, I said 5 minutes of my review, probably more like 2 minutes. Okay. And then that just sets the stage. And then from then on, it's just the exact same movie. So I don't know why they did this. I think it's really, if you just step back and take the emotion out of it, it's just a stupid move. You build this as the true sequel to Terminator 2, and you do that to get the fans from the original, 2 films. And then you get those people in seats, and then you have their characters on stage, and you just murder one and render the other one completely obsolete. Everything that Sarah did was for nothing. And it boggles my mind. And then they say, well, we did that so we could do our own thing. But then they proceed to give you the exact same movie you've seen 4 or 5 times now. It is exactly beat for beat 1 and 2. It really is. There's really no variation whatsoever. It's the same exact thing. Terminator comes back to kill someone who's going to be significant to someone to the future in the rebellion. The rebels send someone else back to protect her. It's exactly the same thing. So I don't understand from a creative standpoint, from the financial standpoint, why those decisions were made. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, and it seems to me from hearing, I heard all the leaks and everything. It seems to me like they wanted to kill John Connor to, really quick, super chat, real quick from Orange Hat Reviews. Thank you, Orange Hat. $5. Splash, more like a drop in the ocean. Dark Fate sucked. The whole thing was made to pander. And I'm a Terminator can saying this. I assume you're a Terminator fan, brother. But thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. You know, it seems like they killed John Connor off for like the shock value, and then to replace, you know, the chosen one, you know, the kind of MacGuffin that we get in a lot of these type of movies. You know, the one who's destined to change it all, it shifts to a young female. Is that like how it's played out, right?
Pretty much. And what's odd is within those first 2 minutes, you don't really understand what's going on. He doesn't die in a surfing accident. Another Terminator just walks in, a T-800 that looks exactly like the one from Terminator 2, and kills him. But this takes place in 98, which is a year after the events of Judgment Day, or when Judgment Day was supposed to take place. So does that, as you try to figure this out in your head, what you just saw, did Skynet send this Terminator back before the events of the second movie? Did it send it back after? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. How can something that doesn't happen, a future that now doesn't exist, send a Terminator back to kill? It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's so convoluted.
I can explain that bit actually.
Oh,
it was in the leaks during Terminator 2. Mm-hmm. Skynet sent 2 or more Terminators back, but they arrived in different places of the country. And the one who kills John Connor didn't find him until 98.
So, which brings up another question. If they sent the experimental T-1000, the liquid metal Terminator...
A prototype, right?
Prototype. So it
should have been the only one.
Sure, should have been the only one. So they send him to kill John Connor. Why would they then also send a couple other T-800s that look exactly like...
Because they didn't know where he was. So it was just sent to different parts of the country, and they sent the prototype one to one place, and then the 800s somewhere else. And that's what it said in the leak, though. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, they don't even. I mean, it's sort of as a throwaway line that she uses, and you don't. If you're not listening, you don't really pick it up. But this also takes place 4 years after the events of that movie. And I mean, what's odd is that John Connor looks exactly like he did back then. So there's also it's a discrepancy. I don't know if it's just a graphical issue or maybe it's just an oversight, but the beginning is really confusing, you know, on many different levels. And then they, like I say, they just proceed to give you a movie that's just, it's beat for beat, another Terminator film. And then we have another Batwoman problem where the savior, the girl in the film, is not going to give birth to the savior. She is the chosen one. She is the savior. She's 5'1". The actress is actually, her height is listed as 4'11". So she's 4'11", 100 pounds. It's not believable. But then there is a scene, a flash forward. I'm not kidding you. You see this little girl, okay? She's 19 in the film, right? The flash forward takes place, I don't know how many years later, and she's exactly the same little person, little girl, with her hair back in cornrows, little dirt on her face, and she's taking down full-grown men with guns. And she's inspiring the revolution. It's so unbelievable. It just doesn't make you're laughing. I mean, everyone in the theater was just like, okay, sure, fine. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a bridge too far for me. Why couldn't you have Michelle Rodriguez portray her in the future? A big, believable, badass woman. And I don't mean big in a bad way. I mean, just she has more of a physical presence. You know, it's just not believable. It's so silly to know that this. I mean, she looks like she's in junior high. I mean, it's crazy. And that's normally not a big deal, but you're trying to portray someone in a physical role. And so if you're going to do that, that's fine, but you need to do something to make us believe that.
Yeah. And the box office projections do not look good, right? So look here at Variety, box office bomb, Terminator Dark Fate could lose over $100 million. We've had a couple of big flops this year. One of them being Gemini Man, which is going to lose a crap ton of money. This is probably the next big one. Is a 6th Terminator film debuted with a dismal $29 million in North America and overall just over $100 million overseas. It cost $185 million to produce, plus about $100 million in global marketing and distribution fees. Plus, you have to add the cut that the cinemas get on top of all of that. So People, let's see if I can find. Here it is. Box office experts say the film needs to earn around 450 million to break even, but they assume that it's going to lose a couple $100 million possibly, which is just insane. And one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about was Rotten Tomatoes, which we talk about Rotten Tomatoes a lot, how the critic score is just absolute garbage. And, you know, we look at the discrepancy between Joker and in the critic and the audience score. But when we look at Terminator Dark Fate, we see something really strange. We see that the critics, we see that the critics like it well enough, a 70%, the same score that Joker got, basically. Mm-hmm. But the audience score is really high. It's 85. Now, it's dropped a little. I saw it over 90 at one point. I don't understand how the audience score is this high when it seems like everyone that we hear talk about it says it's bad. And it's not just this corner of the internet. I've seen a lot of other reviews of people not associated with, you know, our community here or anything like that saying that it's absolute trash. So why aren't people going to see this movie, guys?
Could it be a lot of people who upvoted it are people that worked on the movie?
I mean, it's got 3,000 ratings, which isn't a ton. You know, Stieg, you brought something up about how the audience reviews can't really be trusted because of what we saw happen with Captain Marvel and the screwy things we've seen going on with Rotten Tomatoes before. We've never seen it we've seen reviews disappear. We've never seen them not be posted really. So we were talking earlier about maybe that, you know, it's hard. We don't want to make up conspiracy theories or anything like that, but it just seems like most people don't have a good reaction to this movie, and you can tell because no one's going to see it. So how is the audience score this high?
I don't know that there was much. I think after Genesis, I think the hype for this movie wasn't there. And I think the majority of the people that were going to see this probably wanted to see it. And I think if you could dig into the ratings, I think you're going to find a lot of 3 out of 5s. You know, no glowing reviews, but it's passable. You know, it's technically fresh, I guess. And I think that the majority of the people saw this and thought, I'm not interested, and they just stayed home maybe. I'm not sure, because it really doesn't make any sense, especially given the fact that they had the nostalgia draw. Let's bring in the fans of the first 2 movies. And then to do what they did, I don't understand.
About a month ago, the director did an interview, and he said something like he made this movie to
intimidate people who are scared of women, or intimidate misogynists or something, right?
Yeah, he was gonna give misogynists a kick in the bum, right? Something like that. And that's, people are put off by, you know, modern day politics in movies. It's starting to shift because the people who are all for strong female, you know, characters replacing the guys and all that, they didn't show up to support this movie.
Yeah.
Yet they've been screaming about, you know, yeah, we need, you know, a strong female lead and all that. And then they get a movie like that and they don't show up.
Yeah, and it is weird. I haven't seen it, so I can't judge it. But based on the leaks, based on what I've heard about it, it does seem cringe and stupid. It is tough. It is tough to do, right? Because this is a franchise where it's predicated on this one thing happening over and over again, avoiding Judgment Day, and somehow T2 ended with this bang where they saved the world, right? They stopped Judgment Day from happening, but then they wanted to milk it for more money, so T3 happened, and they found a way to bring Judgment Day back. Instead of Skynet, it was Legion or something, right? I think that's
in this movie, Legion,
right.
It's odd, you know. So Terminator 1 was basically about preserving the resistance or the rebellion to fight the threat. Terminator 2 was something new. We're actually going to try to prevent Judgment Day forever happening. We're going to prevent a apocalyptic future. So it built on itself. And then you're right, they just didn't know where to go with the story, so they tried to reinvent it and try to say, oh, well, it happens, but in a different way. But when you do that, you devalue the events of the other movies that people love. So where Terminator Salvation did something a little different, it took us to the future. It took us to a different time. It gave us another view of the story. While not a great movie, at least went in a new direction, expanded on the universe. And that was, I give it respect in the fact that they tried to do something different and didn't just rehash the same thing over and over again. And I will say that in this film, Linda Hamilton's the best thing in it. And the Grace character, I thought she was great. I really didn't get the whole super woke thing. She's not a Mary Sue, Grace. She's got limitations. She is an enhanced human, but she'll burn through her metabolism quickly. And so she has to recover. So she has some frailty and weakness at points, but then she can gear back up and go toe to toe with the Terminator. So I thought that those two characters were actually handled well. So, it's really, the problem for me is not the women in it. The one, Danny is just a bad fit. But for me, the big things are what they did with the established characters, which were completely unnecessary. Don't kill John.
Yeah.
But do
here's a question.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Every time they try to reboot a series like this, why is it they always have to tear down and destroy the old stuff just to do something new?
It's a common theme, man. We obviously see it. That's how so many of us in this corner of YouTube kind of started. Is based on that premise. And I don't know if it's just due to the lack of creativity. I don't know if that's like the basis behind everything. I don't know if it is truly something insidious as far as bringing down. But that's the thing. Like, I guess they didn't bring down Sarah Connor because Sarah Connor is the best part of this movie. But why does it have to be this way? Why can't you make your own good stuff? And I agree with what you said about Salvation. I saw Matt talking in chat about it too. Like, I liked Terminator Salvation. I like the idea of it. Some of the execution wasn't great. I thought the fact that they brought Arnold back at the end, it was stupid, right? But as far as the idea, I liked it. The future war setting.
Yep.
Seeing this happen, right? I thought that was cool. I wish they would just continue on with that. This is supposed to be the first part of a trilogy. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and Genesis was supposed to be the first part of a trilogy as well. And the same with Salvation.
Well, see, they did John Connor dirty in Genesis too.
We actually have a trilogy now of the first parts for a trilogy.
Oh, we have a bad trilogy. My God.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's it's funny because they could have done things differently. They touched on something in the film about purpose and giving Sarah Connor purpose, and they could have taken that. Let's say we keep John alive, but John is now similar to where we kind of saw him in the third film. He's disjointed. He doesn't know what his place is in the world now that Judgment Day is over. He was supposed to be the savior, and now he doesn't know what to do. And then the events of this movie it's kind of a call for him to take up, maybe not arms, but a new calling, and maybe he helps the new savior or whatever in their journey and their quest. And it's a little bit of a redemption for him, but it's, you can do that and not piss off the fans of the original stuff.
You know what would have fit very well? If the main MacGuffin character that the Terminators want to kill, that had been John Connor's daughter. Then you'd have three generations of Connors.
Wow.
Sarah would be there protecting her grandchild.
Yes.
At least that would make sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense. And it would also make sense that I think it makes sense that after the events that we've already seen take place, that John Connor wouldn't necessarily be the one to stop everything because they've changed so much. So I do think there are definitely ways to get around it.
They
it just
could
seems
have
like
had John
a silly path
himself for his daughter.
Yeah. Well, I also wanted to talk about how, like you said, John Connor, I guess we've already talked about spoilers, but John Connor gets killed in the first 5 minutes of the movie by another T-800.
Yes.
So it is Arnold, right? He's the actor. And then after he completes his mission, he just decides to live in the world for the next like 20 or 30 years, not killing anyone or doing anything, just becoming human.
That was another thing that it goes back to this purpose, this idea of purpose. He didn't have his mission was complete, so he didn't know what to do. The Terminator, I guess. He had no further instruction. So because he's constantly learning and trying to be a more efficient Terminator, he began to sort of learn what it meant to be human. And then there was some decision he made to let's start a family. And he doesn't, start a family, but I think he marries someone. She already has a son, and the relationship isn't physical, but he's there and he's stable, and he's the father figure to the son, and he's the husband, I guess, to the woman. But it's just odd because it's like the joke, right? It's like you sit around and you say, oh, what if we made the Terminator like a homemaker, or what if we make him like he's a drape salesman, and you laugh, but you don't actually do it. But they did it. That's what they did. He sells drapes. I mean, it's just this happened. Okay, I don't know if you remember in the third movie, but he takes the glasses, the iconic scene, and he puts the shades on. But in the third movie, they're like these heart-shaped, silly glasses, and it's a joke, right? Mm-hmm. We've been making him a joke since that movie, and it's not. I mean, come on, it's not funny. Let these characters be what they are. I think you could have had him. Maybe he returns to some sort of base station, like a charging station hidden in some mountain somewhere, and he's hooked up to a early Skynet, and then we find out later on that they have to retrieve him some way somehow, and they hack into him similar to the way they did it in the second movie. Remember, they had to reprogram him to go back.
The read-write chip.
Yeah, to rewrite the chip to send him back to protect. So you could have that element in this movie, still have the actor aged, obviously, because he's there sort of in his charging, but he's still aging. And you could still do this. There's just a few tweaks, a few things you could do that could make this interesting, preserve all the old characters, bring in the new, and everything would be happy. You'd make your money and kick off your new trilogy.
Yeah. That guy says it's not a Tuma.
This movie's a Tuma. And you're not going to make it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's...
someone in the chat said James Cameron is positioning himself to shift blame, and he's already done that. I just sent you a link about it, Ryan, to your inbox on Twitter. He's already had some defensive words about it.
Well, and Stig, didn't he also take this position with the last movie? I mean, he was all on board, and he was in the commercials, and then he said, "Well, I was just doing this for my friend Arnold."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is a weird thing because there's a rights issue. From what I understand, James Cameron, basically, I don't know if he sold or if his wife just got half the rights to Terminator. She then fell upon hard times, had to sell it. So he actually, the rights didn't revert back to him, or he didn't own the rights to this movie until October. So when it was in production, although he had input, he didn't have any control. Wow. So I will say that. For James Cameron, although I think that James Cameron, he's made some really good movies.
Sure.
I also think that some of this stuff's a little overrated. So, but here we go. Let me share that screen again. This is what Steve just sent me. Cameron talks Dark Fate disagreements. Yeah. So did she look like this in the de-aging? Did she look really good?
Oh, she looks perfect. John Connor's face is a little off, but she's sitting there, and it's like you think that, wow, is this like old footage? I mean, it's spot on, and even the stuff for Arnold looks really good too. So,
yeah. So in an interview with Cinema Blend, Cameron says there were disagreements between him and Tim Miller. I got to read this. I didn't see this. James Cameron has been talking Megaturd Terminator Dark Fate. He was one of the chefs in the kitchen (parentheses toilet). I would say many disagreements, and the blood is still being scrubbed off the walls from those creative battles. This is a film that was forged in fire. So yeah, but that's the creative process, right? The rough cut wasn't a slam dunk. I felt like there were a lot of pathways that were taken that were unnecessary. I'm an editor myself, so I gave notes that were both broad and very specific. I continued in that process up to 2.5 months ago when we locked picture. I never went to the set. I've yet to physically meet the new cast because I never went to the set. But I was involved in writing, and I was very involved in the cutting. And to me, the cutting is really an extension of writing. So It does seem like he's distancing himself a little bit, while at the same time taking credit for it. So
Yes,
one of those. I want all of the
editing.
I want all of the credit, none of the blame, please.
Yeah, and I bet you one of the things he disagreed with was John Connor dying.
Probably.
That has to be a source of contention. It has to be.
It would be weird. It would be weird to have, this be your creation. Much like George Lucas, in a way, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Have this be your creation that you've sold away for one reason or another, and see other people creating it, and you just like so vehemently disagreeing with it. And I saw someone said, I highlighted it, but I forgot who it was, like, same things happening in Star Wars. They're tearing down our characters to build up the new ones. And obviously I agree with that. And then
the best way to build something solid is to build on the foundation.
Yeah, I agree. And
Yep.
Instead, what they're doing, right, is it's like you stand up their characters next to each other, and the characters that we love are so much taller because they're great. They're great built characters, and instead of building up your character and giving them what they need to stand that tall as well, you just dig a hole right underneath the character we love to make them shorter. And then you look at it and you say, "Hey, look at this! Our character's awesome, right?" Not really.
Yeah, it's something I thought about recently when I was talking about Star Wars with someone, and the new characters, right? Why should the fans care about them when the characters we already love don't even care about
them? It's a good point. I think you can sell the new characters by seeing the old and new standing side by side, with the old encouraging or building up the new characters. In a supportive role.
Build them up first and then fade away a bit.
Right, and then begin to sort of fade away. I mean, and that makes sense. You see the passing of the torch in a slow, methodical passion, not like that. I mean, there's no reason why we couldn't have Luke and Han and Leia in the background doing, just doing things, being generals, being in charge, and then allowing the other, events to happen in the film. Same thing with this. There's no reason why we can't have John Connor, Sarah Connor, everybody in the background supporting this new story idea moving forward.
Even in the Lord of the Rings, Bilbo is the main guy in the split, and he's a sporting one in the Lord of the Rings, and he cares about the main characters.
Sure,
because he's even to blame for some of the stuff that's happening. It's writing 101, really.
Matthew says the new female lead could have been John Connor's daughter. Yep, exactly. That guy says R.I.P. Paramount. Gemini Man looks like it's going to suck. Gemini Man has already been out for like a while. Fox did a review of it, and it does suck, right?
It's not good. It's not good. It's a paint by numbers movie. It's it's not bad. It's not terrible. It seems a little unnecessary.
So I think we have a good jumping off point too. Darth Thanos says, "Good thing Jeremy isn't here." Why not? Well, I did see Darth Thanos is saying some funny stuff in chat. Is saying Brie Larson will be Revan, and then somebody else came back at him with, I will address that too. It says Cameron wanted John Connor to die. So
really,
there you go.
Really,
I just saw that from him, and I saw it from Laura. They both said that. So
wow,
I believe them.
Then I stand corrected,
not gentlemen, though. F you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah. Well, then he's completely to blame then.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
he needs to cut off a finger.
At least one.
At least one, yes.
Yeah.
And then Rob D responds to Darth Thanos with another epic claim that Brie Larson will direct the new trilogy in place of Rian Johnson. So there you go. That's probably what he said. Good thing Jeremy isn't here. Yeah, I know you're just messing around, bro. I know you're just messing.
A lot of flat acting, I suppose.
Well, we got Daisy Ridley already in Star Wars, so might as well. But that is a good jumping off point, talking about using these characters that are so beloved to try to build up someone. And I wanted to get to what happened in Star Wars, specifically with John Boyega this week. Now, we had this article come out. I'll screen share again. We had this article come out right here from Comic Book Resources, which is just absolute garbage. Garbage to your website with a garbage story. Rise of Skywalker prequel proves that Rey is a better Jedi than Anakin or Luke. So obviously you say something like that, people are going to be upset because it's just dumb. And that's what they want, right? They want you to click on it. They want to get the ads. I get it. But it's so ridiculous.
A quick comment. How can she be a better Jedi when Luke was the last Jedi?
I don't know. I guess you'll have to buy all of the tie-in novels and all the comics to understand what's going on in these movies, Stieg. That's the only explanation.
Obviously.
Yeah. But, John Boyega, with no prompting whatsoever, I'm sure maybe somebody tagged him in it or something, says, "I'm sorry, guys, but Anakin slapping all of us in a pit of lava, including Kylo." Then several laughing faces. I thought this was absolutely hilarious from John Boyega. And he's a guy who said some things in the past that have rubbed people the wrong way. Basically, like, we don't care, like, don't complain to me, whatever.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah, and he speaks his mind, which, if you like what he says, you're going to like it. If you don't like what he says, you're not going to like it, given the time. But I really enjoyed this. I thought it was funny. Someone realistic, right? He's almost done with this. His contract's almost up. They've done nothing with Finn as a character. I can't see them wanting him to come back in any capacity. I don't think he wants to come back. I think he's ready to move on. What did you guys think when you saw this happen?
Not much. I'm completely into the old EU now. So they can have Daffy Duck in this one. I won't care.
Yeah, I would go to the theater to see Daffy Duck beat Rey's ass. I will just say that. Darth Daffy, yes.
I think it's hilarious. I think it's almost,
he beats her with a Daffy stick?
I think he's done. I think you're exactly right. The character has had no development whatsoever. He just runs in the dirt and says Rey. That's all he does. He just screams Rey, runs around, and gets slapped here, there, and everywhere. It's sad, really, because I was really hoping that he was going to have some force powers or be force sensitive. After 7, I thought, the way he was using the lightsaber, I'm thinking maybe there's some more there. There's some stuff under the surface, but much like Rey, there's just really done nothing with the character.
I would have been happy if he was just a kick-ass soldier.
Yeah.
Just have him shoot enemies to bits.
Why does he have to be a janitor?
Why is a janitor going on a freaking mission to murder a bunch of civilians? Why isn't he mopping the freaking floor?
Oh, easy, because they want clean kills.
So
Grand Mop Tarkin.
Oh God, that's too good. Oh, that's too good. We have a $10 super chat from Space Windy. Thank you so much, my man. Hey, Ryan, please do The Last Jedi review, but not for the movie, for the book, The Last Jedi. Much better overall story. I'd love to hear what you think about it. I actually do have it right here. It was really funny back in the day when The Last Jedi was coming out. To kind of direct people to go buy this novelization of the movie, as it were. Yeah, I can definitely do that, man. I appreciate the super chat. I do think it's a better overall story. I do like Michael Reeves. It's better than the Coruscant Nights trilogy, in my opinion. But yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We've got Schemes and Scammers, one of my new Twitter followers. There are real rumors that Brie Larson talks to play female Revan. It's coming. Get ready for a female Revan trilogy directed by Rian Johnson and starring Brie Larson. Schemes and Scammers, thank you for the heads up. It was a We Got This Covered article. You need to take that with a grain of salt. Listen, I am as upset about with what Lucasfilm is doing as the next person. I don't know how that they could be that out of touch.
Yeah, and where's the source of these rumors? Nobody's mentioned anything about it. All they say it's rumors.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it'd be crazy. Like, that would be the ultimate, I think, FU to the fans. Listen, Captain Marvel made $1 billion. Let's not lie. Captain Marvel made $1 billion. Granted, a lot of that was when it was positioned and how it was marketed as a lead up to Infinity War, for sure. And The Last Jedi made $1.3 billion, which was a lot less than Force Awakens, but still is nothing to scoff at. I suppose that it is definitely within the realm of possibilities that Lucasfilm could bring those two people together, because they can't find any directors or writers that they want to keep. That's clear with Benioff and Weiss. They can't find anybody they can work with, but Kathleen Kennedy has worked extremely well with Rian Johnson. They've both said that. So maybe he's the only one left standing that will work with them.
I'm curious what the box office for Rise of Skywalker will do for all their plans, because I think that it's, while I don't think the movie's going to fail, I don't think that it's going to do. I say it may fall shy of Last Jedi just a touch, or maybe do what Last Jedi did. And I think if that, while being good for another movie for Star Wars, that's not going to be a good sign. And I'm curious what that will do.
You know, if they'd done things right, this movie would have been looking at $2 billion.
Easy.
Yeah. But now I'm betting it breaks $1 billion though, because it's the last Skywalker's,
Yeah, I think it'll do $1 billion. I mean, 1.1, 1.2. Just, I mean, if Captain Marvel can do it, there's a lot of nostalgia for this. It is the last in the saga, quote unquote. I just don't see it making the big money that they wanted to make. And with some of the rumors I've heard, some of the leaks, I'm going to have a tough time sitting through this one time.
Yeah, and with all the reshoots and the heavy marketing, this is an expensive movie.
Yeah. And then I've said from the beginning, I do think this film will make $1 billion. I think it will be about 1.1 to 1.2. When you think about that, it's shocking. Joker made $900 million. We'll talk about that later. Joker made $900 million without a release in China. Like, are you kidding me? So if Rise of Skywalker only does 1.1, 1.2, that's crazy.
Yep. I agree. I think that they won't have the blank check anymore. I think that it's, before it was, it's Star Wars, you can do whatever you want. I mean, that's why they allowed this to happen. I mean, JJ had an overarching story. He had an outline for all three films. He did. I mean, it was in some of the original interviews with Daisy Ridley. She mentioned it. They, of course, went back and sort of, squashed that, but that was the original plan. There was an outline. There was something that was going, and then to just have Ryan come in and just do your own thing. Just write your own thing and do just do whatever you want. It's Star Wars. Who cares? It's going to make, billions and billions of dollars. Who cares? I think that confidence is waning now, especially with Solo. And I think that if this does, just like we're talking $1 billion, maybe a little over, I think they're going to have to, because at the end of the day, they're a financial organization. They're there to make money. They have to be successful. They have stockholders to report to. I think that it's going to cause them to pause, and then
and
where they're going to
go. The movie itself not making as much as they would like is one thing, but the Star Wars merchandise, toys and all that, it's dropped by 80%. I think it was in 2 years. That's a lot of money. That's because Star Wars merchandise was what kept Star Wars alive between episode 6 and 1, because it was making so much money that Lucas could finance episode 1 with it.
Well, there's just nothing new. I mean, I love the Falcon as much as anybody, but why is there not a new Falcon? Why is there not a new ship? Why is there not a new thing that people have to have, a new character they fall in love with, something different and unique? They've just, color swapped TIE fighters and X-Wings. And
yeah, who wants to buy the new Luke when it's Luke sitting on a rock and croaking?
Right. Dead Luke.
Yeah.
The non-action figure.
Luke's cloak and the rock it landed on.
I want to know where his freaking hand is. That's what I want to know, where that went when he disappeared. But
he used hands free.
But Brian Borg in the chat says, I know of a way they can add some value to the franchise. That is a great point, Brian. And I talked about this a little bit the other day. You know, with everything going on with Star Wars, it does look like we're likely going to have kind of a hold. We're going to have these things going out on Disney Plus. But as far as the D&D, the trilogy that was supposed to release in 2022, 24, and 26, I believe, was when it was supposed to happen. Those are the only films they have like hard down that they were going to do. Now, what are you going to do? You need to find a replacement. You got to figure out story, figure out casting, do all of that stuff still. So it does look like there's going to be a little wane in what we have going on from Star Wars. That may be a good thing for them from the TV side, but one of the things I'm sure what Brian is talking about is Star Wars Expanded Universe and Star Wars Legends. Now, if you're not aware, if this is your first time watching the channel, for the past couple weeks, I've been plugging a Twin Suns Foundation billboard project, which is raising funds to put up two billboards right outside the Lucasfilm Studios in San Francisco saying, hey, we all kind of like that whole Star Wars Expanded Universe that you decanonized and turned into Legends. And we're still here 5 years later asking for more. Continue these stories. And since they are not going to have anything going on right now, this is a great opportunity for them to, to give us more of what we want, the characters we want, the storylines we want. So that's a great point, Brian. We recently got that fully funded on a live stream with Matt Wilkins. It was absolutely incredible that we raised this amount of money, and everyone that donated, I really appreciate it. And Brian, I'm sure, really appreciates it. Every Expanded Universe fan that would like to see it continue appreciates it. So yeah, that's true. We'll talk a little Expanded Universe here in a little bit, but thanks for the reminder, Brian. Yes, more EU. What's that, Stig?
No, it's just fun.
Well, what was it? I can't believe I missed it.
I said, let's expand on that for a bit.
Yeah, exactly. And so, we've been doing it. I'll say it right now. 2 weeks from now, we will be continuing our Star Wars Expanded Universe book club with Dark Force Rising, which I have right here. The second book in the Thrawn trilogy, Dark Force Rising, that will be on my channel Saturday, November 16th. So we're really looking forward to continuing that. If you guys want to hop in on that, just read and then be in the stream along with us. And if you want to hop on and talk about it, we can definitely do that. We can get you on. It was a great experience the other day. Oh, and look at this, RC from the NYC. I don't know if you were in here earlier, brother. It just couldn't comment or whatever, but I opened your package earlier on stream. Dude, these are freaking amazing, man. I cannot wait. I always love repping Cubs hats, and I've never had a Yankees hat before. But it's a Yankees hat, and it'll fit in here in San Diego because this is like the Padres colors. And dude, I really appreciate it. It means the world to me, man. Thank you so much. That is awesome, dude. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Let's see. I see Josie here. Hey, Josie. Josie is also a huge Expanded Universe fan. She was one of the first people who reached out to me when I started my channel and was saying, hey, I love the Expanded Universe, blah, blah, blah. And we've talked a lot and stuff. She's so awesome.
They could still do Shadows of the Empire, even in the new canon, I think, with a few tweaks. But that one is actually still doable.
Would you want... Here's my question. Would you want any Expanded Universe characters showing up in this canon, or would you prefer they just remain completely separate and continue their alternate storyline? Because I, for one, think it should just be completely left out and alternate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Unless they start hiring, SJW activists to write Expanded Universe books.
Yeah.
That would destroy everything, right?
No, it wouldn't destroy everything. I think that it would be, listen, if that did happen, if we asked for it and we got it and that happened, I think it'd be pretty easy to maintain the continuity that we have and just say, well, we did everything we could. We tried to get more stories. They put out not our stories. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But we're never going to get it if we don't ask. And if we keep asking, listen, we got Marvel 108, It is possible, guys. We got this, a new Legend story, because people asked for it. Marvel listened. Marvel went and made it. They had people come on who appreciated the expanded universe and loved the expanded universe and wrote in accordance with what had happened before.
Did it sell well?
It sold really well. It sold. The only thing that sold better than it was a #1 release for Galaxy's Edge, and that's just in that month. They're counting the pre-orders and all this stuff. It didn't sell better than it. It was probably the best-selling Star Wars comic that month. The only thing that sold better was Galaxy's Edge #1, and the following, Boba Fett #1 was tied with it. The following release of Galaxy's Edge, it sold like 10,000 copies. The #2 issue.
Wow.
So it sold like nothing then. So it sold really well.
I need to buy it then.
Oh yeah, do it, man. You can get it on eBay for $7 or something like that.
No. I'm paying full price for this to support the Legends.
Well, yeah, I couldn't find it because I was out of town when it released in my store, and I didn't have a pull list or anything because I'd stopped buying DC Comics so long ago, and so I went in there to get it. The next week, they're like, "We're out. We don't have any more."
They have it on Amazon.
Yep, they should have it on Amazon and eBay and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, Thomas is saying Yankees suck. Listen, Thomas. Usually, I would support you. Usually, I would support you in any team bashing possible. Oh, $1. Rookie is throwing singles at us here in the chat. $1 from Rookie Critic. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thomas Gilkey, thank you for being here, my man. Everyone's saying separate. Teresa says keep them separate. Benzo says keep them separate. Soul Assassin, keep them separate. Angelus Jeevan says, I would love Shadow of the Empire. Darth Primus, keep them separate. Josie Miller says, heck no. Separate. Do not ruin Mara Jade. Please do not. Please do not. Mara Jade to be first on the hit list if they do EU films. Listen, man, we've been hearing these rumors since day freaking one. Like, every time a female is casted in a Star Wars movie, we hear rumors about Mara Jade because they know it gets clicks, because they know people care about these characters. People care more about the expanded universe characters than they care about the sequel trilogy characters. Like, in my experience, it's just kind of how it is. If you're a fan of the sequel trilogy, that's great. And I support you. And I do have a couple sequel trilogy fans that watch the channel that I get to talk to from time to time. And, that's why the Twin Suns Foundation, the billboard they're putting up, isn't saying to cancel Disney canon or anything, because that ship has kind of sailed. But they are saying, why don't
they shouldn't cancel it. Because if they do that, they're pissing off another group of fans who have spent money on new novels and the movies and stuff like that. So that would mean, the same thing that happened to us would happen to them, and that's, not a good thing.
Exactly.
It's not. I think you can course correct. I think you can try, But I think that we're also pretty reprehensive. We don't like what they've done with what we've given them or what they've had. So to just turn over characters like Mara Jade, to just turn over the EU, which we're not technically turning it over to them; they have it. But to see them take these, I don't know. I just don't have any confidence.
Yeah,
the damage has been done.
Right.
If they put Mara Jade in the new canon, it won't be the Mara Jade we know.
Yeah,
because that won't work.
True.
Yeah, it doesn't work with the rest of the story they've already told. So it would have to be a not Mara Jade. And I was talking earlier. I actually did a podcast with Jeremy from Stupid Chainsaw Productions, he's an EU YouTuber. I did a podcast with him. He should be posting it probably tonight or tomorrow or something. And we just talked for like 2 hours about Star Wars Expanded Universe. And one of the things that got brought up was Thrawn, and what they did to Thrawn in Disney canon, and how they brought Zahn back to write this Thrawn trilogy, right? This new Thrawn trilogy, which is fine. It's probably the best of the new stuff, to be honest, because Zahn's a good writer. However, when you see what he is in Rebels, it doesn't freaking matter. Like, that's the person. He becomes this person who can't handle a goon squad of 5 idiots in the Ghost. Like they can't handle this ragtag crew. And
he reminded me of the guy who keeps hunting the Smurfs and almost succeeds.
Gargamel.
Yeah, he's like the Gargamel of Star Wars now.
I mean, you took the character that was essentially the Emperor replacement, and you made him just like almost a villain of the week. I hated what they did with him. I mean, I love the voice, I love the look, but it just wasn't Thrawn. It really wasn't.
Nah. Yeah, I totally agree. $5 super chat from RC from the NYC, who gave me these hats. You know, I should put on this Cubs hat here since he gave it to me. Boom! Look at that. Even matches my outfit kind of right now.
Put both of them on at the same time.
Both of them on.
Both of them on.
Just look like the ultimate badass. Look at that.
There you go.
All right.
All caps.
All caps.
RC from the NYC, $5. Ryan, were there ever novelizations of any of the Jedi Knight games? I can't recall if they did.
Dark Forces got a book, didn't it?
I believe there was some kind of novelization of it. I know there wasn't for like Jedi Knight 2 or Jedi Academy. Not that I recall anyway.
But they did Jaden Core got added to the other EU books. So the game was canon.
Oh yeah, the game was definitely canon. Just like all the games, really, with a couple small exceptions, there's certain storylines, right? If you make dark side choices with a dude who, in the end, in canon, ends up being a Jedi, right? That is not going to be canon. You know what I mean? Where's my? I was looking. I've got a couple of Jaden Core novels, Cross Current and Riptide. He plays a huge part in those books. So yeah, but thanks RC from NYC for the hats and the super chats. So,
and unfortunately, Ryan, I'm going to have to jet, buddy.
Oh, hey, Fox, no problem, man. I knew you could only stay for a while, but why don't you plug your channel real quick? Tell us what you got going on and all that good stuff.
Okay, well, once again, thanks for having me, Ryan. I appreciate it. Stig, it's always good to stream with you, buddy. It's actually been a little while. We need to do this more often.
Well, just drop me a message and ask.
I will. We gotta discuss that other game you and I were talking about. But anyway, I am 19K Fox on YouTube, 19K Fox 1 on Twitter. I've got a couple things going on. Of course, my Batwoman reactions. There's an in-depth breakdown. Those come out every Monday. I've got the Bourbon Talks, which is a live stream I do on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock, and then Saturday Night Fever also every Saturday at 10 o'clock. I have a few guests on, and we just kind of talk about a little bit of everything, not just Star Wars.
There you go. And definitely subscribe to this man. Watch his videos. He deserves it. He's a great dude, great YouTuber. So thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate your take, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Later.
Have a good day, Fox.
Boom. Thank you to 19K Fox. Let's see. There's a trilogy of Katarn books. Those are the Dark Forces books that we were talking about, Matthew. I think Brian brought those up too.
Yeah, they were short books though.
Yeah. Bionic Belly Button is here. Hello, Bionic Belly Button, who was hanging out with me so long on my gaming stream last night. Sunday stream. That is right. Give me Vongs. Give me Nogri. Jedi, Savage Wookiees, and Bounty Hunters. Is that too much to ask for? Evidently, guys. Evidently. And, I think that it is frustrating. We talked about this earlier. I saw Brian in chat say it. Asking for more expanded universe. The ship has kind of sailed for this new canon stuff. I don't want to take away what anybody likes or loves. Because what happened in 2014, if you're a fan of the Star Wars Expanded Universe, was freaking brutal, man. To have something you spent so much money and time invested in that you loved so much, tossed aside and said, well, it doesn't matter. It's
so silly, too, because it lined up perfectly with the age of the OT actors. They could have just made a trilogy after, Crucible, the final book, and then just continue with books after that trilogy, right?
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I said. Like I said that it would have been perfect. Crucible takes place 45 years after A New Hope. The actors were it was about 40 years after New Hope when they made Force Awakens. So
Yeah,
that's a no-brainer to me.
it lined up perfectly, and you had probably a million fans wanting to see Jaina Solo on screen. And
Yeah.
she's in her prime, right?
Oh, yeah. She'd have been about 30, 35 years old and just an absolute badass at the time.
Yeah. Then they'd have their strong female lead. And if people want to know more, there's a pile of books there already. They could just reprint them and re-release them.
Yeah.
And they'd be, up and running from day one.
Yeah, exactly. You could show people if they wanted to know more, you can read this here. Exactly.
Yeah, they didn't even have to hire more writers. They could just re-release the whole EU and tell them, hey, read this while we make the movie.
And it's not like you have to be like, well, we're releasing all this stuff, releasing a new novel every month that you have to read in order to understand what's going on, which is what they're doing now. But Jack Random for $2. Thank you, Jack. Is it really the Skywalker saga or the Palpatine saga? Well, I guess we're gonna find out, huh? Based on the leaks.
Look at Leia's ring. She has like a mother's ring or whatever it's called, and it has 2 gems in it. So she's had 2 kids.
What? From the leaks?
No.
What is this?
She's wearing the ring in the previous movie too. It's a mother's ring or something. I think that's what it's called, and they put gems in it, 1 per kid, and her ring has 2 gems in it.
That's crazy. I've never seen that before. I'll have to look into that. By the way, there are 69 people watching. Just wanted to say that number. Justin Proper, what's going on, man? $5. One man's trash is another's treasure. Just because someone likes a sequel trilogy doesn't mean they're not a Star Wars fan. Happened to me with Jar Jar as a kid. 100% agree, bro. I said that for a long time. Like, just because someone likes something or doesn't like something doesn't mean that they're not a fan. To me, if you consider yourself a Star Wars fan, you are a Star Wars fan, regardless of how much you've read, regardless of how much you've watched. It's not for me to judge someone else's fandom. Just because I've read, this comic series and you haven't, or just because someone else, has this omnibus that I've never heard of before. Star Wars is a huge freaking place, and it's only getting bigger every day. So, especially with all the stuff they're putting out now, sequel trilogy is not for me. But if you enjoy it, then I'm glad you do.
I think that's what Disney don't get, because in my opinion, if you're a fan of something, it means you care so much that every detail counts. Every little detail matters.
Yeah.
And when they do sloppy work, fans will notice.
Yeah. Darth Thanos says the EU should become canon and the sequels become legends. Well, I think we're a little past that part. It would be nice. It'd be nice. Sean C, that is a great point. I'm going to talk about this later, man. A possible Snyder cut release on HBO Max would be great and all. But as someone who still buys Blu-rays, I need a disc to complete my Snyder DCU collection. I'm going to talk about that later because I think that would be something awesome to come out on HBO Max. Get woke and drink your soy. I refuse. I will drink some whiskey, however, if that will suffice. There we go. Justin Proper, that said, Legends and canon should coexist. Do you mean like they should bring the stories into the fold, like just pick and choose, or like just we should be good just continuing 2 separate timelines? Because, yeah, I mean, I agree that 2 separate timelines would be awesome. Like everyone would be happy, I think. The Lego Sith Empire. I loved Jaina Solo, Ben Skywalker, Lost Tribe, and loved Fate of the Jedi books and the Old Republic. Me too, brother. Me too. Or sister. Never know.
I think if they had made both canons different timelines, right, then most fans wouldn't be so critical about the Disney canon.
Well, I think there would be. I do still think that there would be, right? Because you look at the reaction that so many people, that are, fandom menace YouTubers, or other people that just didn't like The Last Jedi. A lot of people, although there are a lot of expanded universe fans in there, and we're seeing more and more every day, that are either becoming expanded universe fans or like saying, yeah, I love this stuff. That's one of the reasons I, got interested in this YouTube thing. There are also a lot of people who were really unaware of it that are still really mad about what they did to Luke Skywalker just based on the films, regardless of all the stuff. My and your anger probably started a couple years earlier with what they did to the EU, but it doesn't change the fact that's still how people feel about it. So I do think that there still would be some people that were very upset with what happened.
Yeah, we need to keep doing that hashtag, hashtag EU awareness.
EU awareness. Yeah, I like that one. I should try to do that more. I always retweet it when I see it, but I don't post anything with it. So there's, of course, hashtag Give Us Legends. That's one that was around for a while too. $2 from Jack Random. Again, do you think Disney will reconsider the EU books? I tell you, man, these billboards are going up in the next couple months. They're going to see them every day when they come in for a month to Lucasfilm to work there. They're going to see all the money that Expanded Universe fans put together just to tell them that they want to spend more money on Expanded Universe stuff. So I definitely think they'll reconsider whether it happens or not. I hope. OG Star Wars says, I thought it was a resistance ring, or just shows her status as a senator or leader. The ring you're talking about for Leia.
No, Stephanie Janisek had done research on it, and I think it was called a mother's ring, and you'd put a gem in it for each kid you have. And there's clearly 2 gems in it. She did a whole video about that, and it was very well done.
See, Stephanie did that?
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. I'll have to check it out. Let's see. Sorry, I skipped down in the chat a little bit. Yeah, everyone's saying 69. Yeah, bros, 69. Also in the Disney EU, none of the books, including Bloodline, says Age has 2 children. Oh, it says Leia has 2 children. Yeah. I like whiskey. Me too, Soul Assassin. The sequels are fan fiction. Yeah.
Well, they're certainly written as it.
Yep. What if the ring resembles her and Luke as twins? Yeah, okay, that makes sense, Justin. Yeah, that's what I think too, man. That's what I think too. For sure, for sure. Oh, there he is, Second Street Marvel. Just like God, the Snyder Cut is imaginary. Oh my gosh. You're triggering so many people right now. We are going to talk about, you think that Jason Momoa is lying to you, sir? You think that Jason Momoa is lying? Come on. We're going to talk about that. Let's see. The Unified Timeline also exists before Clone Wars. And Lucas himself and Filoni started his mantle. Yeah, Lucas kind of showed a disregard for some of the things. I agree with you. Filoni helped push him.
Filoni certainly did.
Yeah, and when it did all have to get approved by George, there's no doubt about it. But yeah, Filoni played a huge part. If Marvel, DC, Star Trek can have separate universes, why can't Star Wars? That's what we've been saying. Yep.
Excellent point.
Yes. Because we're not like, it's not like fans are stupid, guys. Like, come on.
It certainly won't do any harm.
Another $5 from Jack Random. The only bone I have with the EU is they did Cade Skywalker, which revealed Jaina's fate with Jagged and their family as the Empire's rulers. Well, if that's all you have a problem with the Expanded Universe, and I would say that's pretty good for all the content. I enjoyed the Legacy series. I really enjoyed the Legacy series. I wish we knew more about it, and like how we got to this point. How the Imperial Knights were established. I want to know so much about it. And what happened to Ben? Like, what happened to Ben? How did he continue on the family line? Does he get with Vistara? You know, how do we get to, was it Cole Skywalker, Cade's father?
Yeah, that one set up so many things.
Yeah, it really did. Thank you, Tatsu. Appreciate it, man. If Kylo and Rey are twins, that would be lame/weird. You know what would be hilarious is all the Reylo shippers. What would happen if they were twins? Which it's not going to happen, but that would be so funny.
Yeah, they've been shipping incest for 2 years.
There you go. OG Star Wars 499. Thank you. Bloodline shares that Leia only had one child, unless they are breaking continuity already.
They have already done that. Someone actually checked, and for continuity errors in the new canon, it was over 3 pages of stuff. One of them, I believe, was Darth Maul. There's a Darth Maul book or something for the new canon, or maybe it was a comic or something, and he kills a Jedi. His first Jedi, and he uses a lightsaber to do so, even though they've stated that Sith they can't make lightsabers. They have to take it from a Jedi that they've killed.
Right. Yeah.
So he kills his first Jedi with a lightsaber.
Of course. And there are, like I mentioned or I don't know if I mentioned on this stream or not, but we see the famous scene in Force Awakens everybody freaked out about, where Han dies, Chewie comes back with Rey, and Leia hugs Rey, and Chewbacca just goes off to grieve alone because no one gives a shit about Chewie in this timeline. And we're like, she didn't hug Chewie? Are you kidding me? Well, in a comic book that they released, they showed this panel, and I saw one of the storyboard members retweet it. It's like, hey guys, look, we fixed it. They hug now. And it's like, what? Like, you're just retconning what just happened in a movie? Like, are you kidding me? So it's just crazy.
Yeah, they did it with Luke and Rey's fight as well. They added that Luke stepped on a rock or something, which was why she won.
Yes. And they, like, the whole Force downloading thing was completely added, in my opinion. With the backlash that we had to The Force Awakens, because if I recall, the Force download thing was in the Last Jedi novelization, not The Force Awakens. But yeah. I'm not a Disney canon guy, right? I don't know it as well as I know the EU. But that's from what I understand. So the moment when, like, Kylo and Rey's minds are touching, right, when she's being interrogated, the way they explain her being so powerful, knowing Jedi mind tricks all of a sudden, be able to do all this stuff, is that she downloaded all of his knowledge in the Force when their minds were touching.
Yeah, which messes up every movie. Yeah. Because there's no point in Master and Apprentice anymore. They could just download, you know? Luke could have just downloaded everything Yoda knew and his understanding of the Force and all that.
Yeah, you don't need to train. Like, it's so ridiculous. So they have broken continuity and, like, adjusted things even within these 2 sequel trilogy movies that we've gotten so far. But yeah, I agree. That's what Steve said is the first time I heard that. I need to look into that more. I
actually spotted something that I think nobody else has spotted in The Last Jedi. X-Wings need an astromech droid in order to travel through hyperspace, because they're basically plotting the course, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hence the name astromech droid and all that. So how did Luke get to Act 2 without one?
That's a good point. If you left R2, so R2 could randomly have a piece of the map, you don't want to be found, but you leave a map there.
Yeah, and there's no droid on the X-Wing in the ocean.
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah, just another explanation of they're not thinking this stuff out.
And how could Luke sense Rey using the dark side and even see Force Ghost Yoda if he was cut off from the Force? Non-Force users can't see Force Ghost.
It doesn't, not like, so much of it just doesn't make any sense. And there is a quick thing, supposedly. All right, so very small spoiler for Rise of Skywalker. I'm sure you guys have heard it already. It's not a big deal. But 3, 2, 1. So Han Solo is supposedly supposed to appear as a ghost to Kylo. Not a Force ghost, just a ghost or something. So that would be insane if that happened, guys. Come on.
Well, I guess it could be a Force vision or something.
I could see that.
Or I bet it's like a holocron message or something.
Yeah, maybe. Real quick, Laura says, did you see Geeky Candy's Mandalorian deep dive in the trailer? So good. Yeah, she did a lot of research on that. A lot more time than I would have spent doing that. It was a really deep dive. Took her a long time. So you guys should definitely go check that out if you have a chance for Geeky Candy. Yeah, for sure. And they retconned hella stuff in the TLJ novel. It was crazy. Yep. And then J Pratt, Canadian $10. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. In my opinion, two things that don't belong in Star Wars: time travel and multiverses. In order to be acceptable, those need to be established near the beginning, like in Star Trek, DC Comics, Stargate, etc. It wouldn't be a multiverse, right? I assume that what you're saying basically is talking about Legends and canon. This wouldn't be a multiverse. This would just be like separate stories completely. Multiverse would, because we see in the multiverses, there's a lot of crossover that happens within the multiverse all the time. That wouldn't happen, or at least in my mind, it wouldn't happen. And then time travel. Yeah, there's a couple instances of time travel in Star Wars in the expanded universe. And there's one huge one in actual Disney canon. Obviously in Rebels, there was time travel in Rebels. I forget what episode it was, but Ezra goes back and saves Ahsoka, establishing time travel, which is ridiculous. The way that time travel happened in the expanded universe, I wish I could find the book. In the book Cross Current, I don't know if you've read this one, Stieg. It has Jaden. It's one of the Jaden Core ones.
Yeah, it's one of the new Jedi Order books.
Well, no, it's one of it takes place after that. It's between Legacy of the Force and Fate of the Jedi. And what happens is, in hyperspace, the way that hyperspace works is you're essentially breaking the space-time continuum, right? That's kind of how hyperspace works. And when you do that, you need a stabilizer to make sure that like as you're traveling through space at this high rate of time, you don't you maintain your time so that you're not really breaking the time continuum. And there's this thing that's installed in every hyperdrive, and it malfunctions on this like 5,000-year-old ship battleship. It malfunctions, and they like just randomly appear in the same location 5,000 years in the future. And it's very interesting. I'm glad that they don't do it more than that time, because it's completely unpredictable and uncontrollable. That's why that hyperspace or the hyperdrive engines are built the way that they are, so that doesn't happen. And yeah, so you see Jaden Core go face to face with a Jedi, like some Jedi and Sith from 5,000 years ago. They still have like power pack, like with cords attached to their lightsabers. It's pretty cool. Yeah. And then, yeah, and I see someone saying in chat, Infinities. Yeah, Infinities are not canon. Those are just kind of like random stories, like what if stories kind of thing. So, let's see. Thank you so much for the super chat, though. And I saw another super chat here. If I can find it. Another one from Justin Proper. Thank you, buddy. If 9 sucks and people hate it, even if they were considered TLJ shills, what would your reaction be, and how would you respond? If 9 sucks and people hate it, I'll say that expect anything different. Like, I do think that a lot of people are seeing the seams finally, even if they are Disney shows. They're seeing everything crumbling down a little bit. You know what I mean? You see people like Campia criticizing with Benioff and Weiss departure. You see Campia criticizing like the leadership at Lucasfilm and what's going on. So I do think that if 9 sucks, people are going to be less like you can only hide your feelings about something for so long, in my opinion.
Maybe his shill contract is up.
Maybe. Justin says, I meant when people come to the realization. I'll say, welcome to our side, brother. Glad you're here. That's what I would say. Everybody has that point where they've seen too much. And, you know, I get it. Matt Wilkins says, you never went to the past in the old canon. I like they never traveled to the past in the EU. And then I think, I was just about to say that. OG Star Wars says, what about Jason's flow walking? That's only peeking into the past, correct? And that is correct. Flow walking, you can't, they explain it very well. It's like throwing a pebble in a river. Even if you try to change some little tiny thing, the flow is going to correct itself and the river is just going to go on its way. With flow walking, you can establish people's interpretation of the past, but you cannot change the future. So, thank you, Jess. That's what I would say welcome, like, for sure. I think that the more the merrier. The more pressure we can put on these corporations to fix themselves into something that we think respects the fans and respects the franchise, the better, right? Jack Random, another $5. Thank you. I'm okay with both timelines existing. After all, it was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. AKA that could be Legends, but I prefer EU. You know, I think that saying Legends is something that we were really hesitant to do for a while because it felt like labeling something that wasn't ours, right? That wasn't our name. We didn't give them that name. They gave us that name, Legends.
Yeah, it's like the stuff that's not true anymore.
Mm-hmm. But you know, over time, it's irritated me less. It obviously is the expanded universe, the EU, but I think it's also Legends. And you know, when we got this, right, when we got this come out, new expanded universe material with the tag Legends on it, I'm kind of proud to see it, right? This Legends tag represents something that is not Disney canon. And it's something that I love. So even if it wasn't chosen by me, even if it wasn't given to or given the name by me, I have kind of come to accept it for what it is. This is the only thing that says Legends that I own, in fact. Everything else I've had from pre 2014. But I got to say, man, it feels good to have this in my hands. And Matt Wilkins is saying fake news in the chat. Because we all know that Marvel 108 is, of course, fake news. Yeah. We could do a whole stream on that, I think. About 4 hours. Legends is a stupid name. Well, I don't necessarily like the name, but I do like what it represents. Darth Primus. Let's see. 40 years of canon was called Legends. What a joke. Yeah, I hear you, Matthew. Jason was lying to Tahiri about being able to change the past. Yep. Let's see. Do you have anything else to say, Star Wars Expanded Universe-wise, Sig? I know that you are actually getting like a bunch of new Expanded Universe stuff in the mail. You want to tell everybody kind of like what you're looking forward to getting and reading soon?
Well, every book that I haven't read before. I've been stocking up. I've been on eBay and buying piles of them. My goal is to get all of it, really. And I've been buying these what is it? Star Wars Legends Epic Collection comic book omnibuses. They're amazing. They're costly, but they're amazing.
They're expensive as hell, man.
Yeah, and I almost have all of those too.
Wow, so, I'm jealous of that.
I'm putting my money where my mouth is.
Yeah. Well, and you say that over and over again, and you are kind of hesitant to come and talk about like about Disney stuff just because you're kind of over it completely, right? You are so focused on the EU now, man, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's because I've been on a lot of streams. get invited on, and after like 50, streams about Disney and Star Wars, it gets old.
Yeah,
So
I hear that.
I figured, why should I sit here and be bitter about the Disney Star Wars when I can sit here and be happy about the old EU?
Yeah, man, I hear that, and I'm really loving the positivity and everything going on with like the book club and all the people that are getting into it. It means a lot to me. Obviously,
Your focus determines your reality.
Yeah, there you go, and that's true. If all you're focused on what's wrong, that's all you're going to see.
Yeah.
Matt says those are beautiful comic collections. They are. They better be for the price. Have I shown you my Luke Skywalker comic collection? What was I going to say? My Luke Skywalker comic collection here, Stieg?
No.
Dude. Ugh. You want to talk about epic comic collection? Look at this thing. Just a bunch of Dark Horse comics about Luke Skywalker. Just an absolutely enormous collection of stuff. All like full page, full color. Tons of stories, man. And I got this at Barnes & Noble for really cheap one day. And it is one of the favorite things that I have.
Well, if you decide you don't like it anymore, I'll give you my address.
No, I think I'm good. It would probably cost a lot to ship it. It's really heavy. And I want it.
Yeah, so, that's a break. That's a
tome. Yeah. It is a tome. That's a good way to put it. Ryan, if George Lucas told you to write an EU story arc, what would it be about? Do you mean if I was asked to come up with like a completely new thing, or do you mean if I was asked to continue like write the sequel trilogy based off what we had like from the EU? I'll try to check out the chat and see when you respond. Swino, Star Wars in name only. Yeah. JJ and Larry Kasdan.
Good word.
Oh, Swino? Yeah, I like that. But I don't have a life-sized Ewok. No, I do not, Matt Wilkins. I'm not as cool. I'm not as epic as you having a life-size Ewok to play with. Yeah. Bleak Sand says something new. If I had to write an expanded universe story about something new, that is a good question. Well, I've said this before. I know Matt's going to really like this. It wouldn't be necessarily a new character, but I would love to see a Kip Duran standalone trilogy. About Kip Duran, basically, if he was, sent by Luke to kind of like patrol a sector, Jedi are spread thin after everything that happened in Fate of the Jedi, all that kind of stuff. Like him set out to patrol like a sector, and just him having to deal with being a responsible, master, and having to deal with political stuff, taking on some more of that responsibility. At the same time, still like the Kip we know and love, who wants to, call to action. And I can already see Matt's loving that. Let's see, George, Ryan Kinel, I had to send my tweet video again. Stupid haters saying they aren't scared. Well, I'll say it right now. We haven't talked about it yet, actually, somehow. If you don't know, Jeremy Griggs, Jeremy Prime from Geeks and Gamers, geeksandgamers.com, Sports Wars, all that stuff. He's doing another Confront Your Critics stream, and it will be on this channel about 6 days from now, Saturday, November 9th at right about this time, I think. So keep your eye out for that. If you have an issue with Jeremy and want to talk to him on air like men and get it handled, I can promise you a fair environment. Angry Panther 97 is ready for Jeremy. Claws out. We need to talk about that, Matt. That'd be funny. But listen, if anybody that you think has an issue with Jeremy and continues to talk about it all the time, let them know to get in contact with me in DMs. I'll set it up. I will get you on. I will help you with your tech. I will do everything in my power to get you on there, and I will give you a fair place to put out your gripes. I can promise you a like semi-respectable scenario, and I can tell you that I'm not going to intervene other than to, if you guys are just yelling at each other, it's nonsensical. I'll break it up, get everybody back on point. I can't promise the chat is going to be positive to you. They may be hostile, likely will be, but let me know, get in contact with me. A lot of people that talk a lot of stuff on Twitter, but in the end, they're not trying to get on. So it is what it is. Let's catch up with the chat here. LOL Ryan, what's the name of the collection? It just says Luke Skywalker, Last Hope for the Galaxy. So there you go. They made a focus on shooting the film, building real sets, and shooting on location. That's one of the worries I had for Mandalorian, Matthew, is that that's what this is all about. They're like, oh, the practical effects. Oh, this looks like Star Wars. Oh, it sounds like Star Wars. That is what I'm worried about. I want a story. I don't trust Dave Filoni. Jon Favreau just brought us the freaking Lion King. I like a lot of what Favreau does, but I also don't like a lot of what he does.
Jon Favreau also produced that dreadful Shannara TV show, which was based on Terry Brooks's fantasy books. It was a complete train wreck.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Don't.
The Black Jedi had the great honor of FaceTiming Matt Wilkins years ago. You should have Matt back on to talk more EU. Well, yeah, I should have Matt back on to talk more EU. I know he's going to be having a lot of people on his channel after all the stuff, all the perks that were involved with the Twin Sons Foundation. A lot of people that want to come on his channel. He's going to be busy doing that. But Matt is always free on my channel. So do I think Sheev will be at Galaxy's Edge? Probably. Sheev Palpatine, probably. All right, but let's get into some of the other topics we talked about really quick. I did want to talk about Joker briefly. We talked about Terminator and what it's doing, and ironically, as it's only makes $29 million, the Joker hauls in another over $10 million domestically. Let me share my screen. Right, here it is. Joker and Maleficent hang on to second and third. Joker fell back to second place and now just shy of 300 mil domestically. Listen, this thing could hit $1 billion. I didn't think it would happen. I didn't think there was any possibility it would happen. But, it's crazy. No China release. This movie continues to do gangbusters. Look at all this stuff you're supposed to click on the side. What the hell? It's Rotten Tomatoes for you. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, 12 million. I don't really care about that too much, but I do care about Joker. I really enjoyed the movie. Did you see that at all, Stieg?
I haven't watched it yet. It's on my list of stuff to watch, but I guess I'm just like a mediocre comic fan. It's just I enjoy them, but I'm not invested.
Well, and this isn't even a comic movie. It could not be about Joker and it'd still be a great movie, in my opinion. It's more about society in general, which I think is pretty crazy. But it continues to move. The mainstream media did everything it can to kind of cancel this movie, and they tried to do everything they could to get something bad to happen with this movie, and it didn't.
I think maybe a lot of moviegoers saw that, and they just made them want to watch it.
I do think the Streisand effect, is that what they call that?
Don't know, but I think there's a shift because critics are losing ground.
Yeah, and we had Brianna Wilson here earlier basically saying that Rotten Tomatoes is a freaking joke. And I agree. It's always interesting for me to see the difference between the audience and the critics score. That's what I like to look at Rotten Tomatoes for.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of critics just attack people for liking something they don't.
Mhm.
And it's the old saying, throw dirt and you lose ground. And I think that's been going on for quite a few years now, and I think we're starting to see the result. People just ignore the critics.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and it's almost a thing now that if critics like it, it's crap. If they don't like it, it's very good.
Yeah, that's completely true. I agree with that, and I do think that is kind of what we're seeing. So I don't know. Maybe that is what happened. Joker is a sweet boy, says Darth Thanos. Yeah, Joker's killing it. Yep. Mark Hamill does not voice the Joker anymore. Unfortunately, yeah, maybe he'll come back sometime. I think he said it's the last time he's doing it, but you never know. There's I just said her name, Brianna Wilson. I think he's right. People went to see it because of critic dislike, then ended up liking it. Yeah, I think so. Like when you see the media screaming about how wrong something is, and we know how ridiculous the mainstream media is about everything, you say, well, if they hate it, then I'm probably going to like it. And you go and give it a try. And, I was one of those people that, sorry, I forgot I was sharing my super chat window. But, I was one of those people who thought that, I didn't want this movie. I didn't see a reason for a Joker origin story, like who cares?
Yeah,
like
same here actually. I was thinking, that character should be a mystery.
Yeah. Yes,
but,
and so I didn't want it, but I ended up loving it.
Yeah. I actually saw some of the interviews and articles about this movie, and I was like, the article writers was saying, this movie is only for incels who's planning to do mass shootings and stuff. And if you say stuff like that, even the people on that's way far left will realize how insane that is, right?
I think for the most part, you're right. Yeah, for the most part. But it's just, I don't know, man. Like, I really enjoyed it. I think if you haven't seen it yet, if for some reason you haven't seen Joker, I do think you should. It'll really make you think, which a lot of movies don't do these days.
Comic book fans are like, they're kids at heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if someone tells a kid they can't do something, they'll do it.
That's true. They typically will. That guy says The Joker, the movie you didn't know you needed. Yeah, 100%. I was having a look. The Rotten Tomatoes audience score for Dark Fate and a bit fishy. Well, Richard, we've been asking ourselves that same question. I'm kind of thinking about doing some experiments tonight after the stream with putting some reviews on there and see what happens. So we'll see, though. We shall see. Joker, yeah. Instead of, it's actually really funny. Joker, which people thought were going to inspire people to commit violence. Instead of committing violence, what happens? It inspired people to dance on stairways, right? Recreate the movie because it was so visually stunning. Loads of half or 1 star, then 4 or 5. Interesting. Well, and the thing with Rotten Tomatoes is it's an aggregate-based system. So at least for the critic reviews, I think the audience reviews the same way. So if I give the movie a 3 out of 5, then if a person gives it a 5 out of 5, it counts as like a positive review. That's all it does. If I give the movie a 1 out of 5, it's going to count the same as if I give it like a 2 out of 5. It's very interesting how it works. I am inevitable. I am the Joker. There you go, Darth Primus. Yeah, so you haven't seen it yet, but it's on your list. Good. I think you should. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, yet, but Definitely when it comes out, at least on Blu-ray or whatever it may be, you should definitely check it out, Steeg.
Yeah, I absolutely will watch it, but I just didn't have to watch it right away,
Yeah, I hear you.
which is
I might,
most movies these days.
I might go back and watch it again, to be honest. I almost never watch a movie twice in theaters, even if I love it. But I'm thinking about going and see it again before it leaves, because there's so much that I realize I've missed now. I agree with this, Matthew. Terminator is a crappy franchise. 2 good movies, an okay TV series, some comics, a bunch of bad sequels, remakes. And that's the problem is you have this movie that became a blockbuster hit, and they're trying to ride off the coattails of that, but they're stuck. They're stuck in that story, which is why Salvation was at least a different thing to do. They are stuck with the story of Judgment Day is coming. This person is the savior. Protect this person. Like, you're getting chased by a Terminator, and another person is there to save you. Tired of it, right?
It's the same over and over. I always wanted to see a movie about John Connor, but more like in the future we see in Terminator 1 and 2. Because Salvation didn't really look like that.
Yeah, Salvation was in the war. Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't look like the war we saw in Terminator 1 with the laser guns and
Right.
skulls everywhere. Really gritty.
True. Apollo says, was Jeremy on your stream? No, Jeremy hasn't been here. You made a new meme about it. Of course you did. I'm going to review some memes later. At the end of the stream, I will. You fell in love with Thanos. That's so sweet. Did you hate it when he died? I wanted a future war, not a Transformers movie like Salvation. Yeah, I feel that, Matthew. I at least respect the step it took. And I like Christian Bale.
In Terminator Salvation, only one person is killed by Terminator.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of the people trying to escape the concentration camp. He gets shot in the back trying to escape. That's the only one that Terminator actually kills. And when they get atop of John, they throw him away and then chase him some more. Did you notice that? Even that half Terminator does it at the beginning.
I only watched it once in theaters. I've never seen Salvation after that. And that movie probably came out in 2007 or something? 2009? I don't even know.
Oh, it's 2000. Yeah, probably 2007.
Yeah.
Damn, time flies fast though. It's more than 10 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. It's old though. But yeah, so Joker, like we said, Joker is somehow still killing it. And this weak ass competition from Terminator Dark Fate is just helping Joker. More people are going to see it. If it makes $1 billion, I will. 2009. So I there you go. My second guess there.
10 years ago this year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I would have thought it was 6.
Yeah, because I know we had Genesis in the last 3 years or something, so I wasn't sure. Speaking of another DC property, Jason Momoa, Aquaman, everyone loves him, specifically the women love Jason Momoa. How do you feel about Jason Momoa?
I like him. I think he's a very good actor. And I'd like to point out that he was excellent as Conan. It was just a shame the rest of the movie wasn't good.
Oh, I didn't realize he played Conan.
Yeah, he did. It was kind of like it wasn't really a reboot, but it had an origin thing for the first 30 minutes, and then it was a Conan story. But Jason Momoa played Conan, and he did it really well. The rest of it was bad.
I liked a couple of the Conan, like the Schwarzenegger one. Like I watched it like, oh, that's okay. Never into it. I know you're really into it though. I've read a couple comics too.
Yeah, the first Conan movie Conan the Barbarian
Mhm.
has the best soundtrack in movie history. And I'm pretty sure some people in the chat will agree with me.
Interesting. Let us know what has the best soundtrack. Is it Conan the Barbarian? Let us know. Okay. So Jason Momoa came out. He's always been a huge supporter of Zack Snyder. Obviously, if you watch his channel, you may be aware that I do like what Zack Snyder's vision was for the DCEU. I do understand that it's a divisive vision and that people have a kind of visceral reaction to Snyder movies. You either love them or you hate them. It's just kind of how it is. I, for one, love them. Matthew, if they had a finished Snyder cut, then why did they make a Whedon version in the first place? Because of focus groups. Because of Warner Brothers didn't like the fact that it was 3 hours and 30 minutes long. At this point, when they saw the visual effects were not done, they are done now. But then they wanted a bunch of changes because they wanted to cut it down. Just like WB's always interfering with their directors. And it was at that point Zack Snyder's daughter passed away. She killed herself in a tragedy. Zack had to step away from the project. Since Warner Brothers, the president in charge, had a contract that he got a bonus if he got Justice League out during that calendar year, they went ahead and pushed it forward, hired Joss Whedon, and wanted him to finish it. They had him reshoot almost the entire thing, change the entire story to get it down to 1 hour and 52 minutes because they wanted the runtime to be 2 hours with credits based on a couple focus groups that they did.
Now that's a silly thing to do.
Yeah, Jeremy would disagree. Jeremy would disagree, and that's all right.
Then Jeremy must die.
Yeah, there you go. Jason Momoa, Ray Fisher have been two people that have been really outspoken about Zack Snyder, about supporting him, and really think have really enjoyed what he did. So Firewater, what's up, man? Focus groups also gave us direction of Star Wars under Disney. Yes. Agreed. More and more. Sorry,
do you know why this is bad?
Why?
Focus groups? Because art is not a democracy.
It's true. And, as divisive as the critic reviews and all that stuff were for Batman vs. Superman, it made $900 million, which may not be what you think it should make, but in the retrospect of several years ago, and the fact that it was the second installment in a franchise, I think that's pretty good money. But anyway, let me get to what Jason Momoa has to say. Let me trash this screen share so I can share audio. All right, I got it. So I saw this right here. A bunch of people tagged me in this, so thank you to everyone that tagged me in it. I do appreciate it. Supernatural, hashtag release the Snyder Cut, is the one that put this on Twitter initially. It's just a clip of an MTV interview that happened. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut, all this stuff. So we have Jason Momoa doing an interview. He said before that he's seen the Snyder Cut. And of course, a bunch of people want to say it doesn't exist. A bunch of people want to say the visual effects aren't done. But I guess we'll listen to what Jason Momoa has to say.
It seems to me, judging from our past conversations and others you've had, you're always going to be indebted to Zack. Zack Snyder's your
Totally,
guy.
man.
He changed your life.
Totally.
So is that partially why when we spoke about a year ago and I brought up the Snyder Cut, you're like, yeah, I need to see that?
Yeah, absolutely. But I've seen it, so.
I've seen
the Snyder Cut, so.
So what does that mean? Because the effects aren't done. Like you've seen his assemblage of.
And so, like we said, that's one of the things. Oh, well, the effects aren't done. It can't be released. All that kind of stuff. Well,
footage and alternate takes, etc.
Oh, do you think Zack couldn't finish it? You don't think he?
I don't know. You tell me. He's finished.
I mean, listen, man. Next question.
Do you think we'll ever see it? Do you think the public will ever see it at this point? Because it seems like it's actually the groundswell has grown. And a year ago, I would have had my doubts.
I'm obviously indebted to Warner's and DC, and I don't know how they feel about it, but I mean,
right.
As a fan, I'm very, very happy that I got to see it.
Does it feel like a totally different movie than the Justice League that was released?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's hoping. Okay. I know.
Right. So obviously, Jason Momoa is in a strange position right? Because he is still an employee of Warner Brothers. I do think he's under contract with them. I think Aquaman 2 is like in the works. I don't think it's actually in production yet. I think it's pre-production, but he still has stuff going on with DC. So he can't really talk bad about them or anything like that. But he also is supporting Zack Snyder and telling everybody that like what he's telling you there is that the Snyder Cut, 1, it exists, 2, it's completely finished, and 3, it's better than the movie we got. That is what he's telling us all right now. And
yeah, it is.
Yeah. And it's a shame that Warner Brothers hasn't released it yet. It's not going to change anything, right? That's one thing that I think as a perception that people have. Well, stop complaining. We'll stop complaining about the Snyder Cut won't change anything. We know that, but one thing it will do is show us what Zack's vision was, the stuff that we were waiting for. Give us a little bit of closure to these movies that we like, because we did like them, right? And it's finished. Just release it, guys. Release it on digital for everybody. I know we had somebody that say they wanted it for their Blu-ray collection. I would freaking love it on Blu-ray.
Why not just release it as an extended version like the Lord of the Rings did?
Well, because it's a completely different movie, Stieg. The plot is completely different. I did a stream months ago about kind of all the big changes that happen, and like I said, the reason that they reshot 75% of the film to cut it down was because they had to change so much of the story. Like Darkseid was involved in this story. The Green Lanterns, you had Tomar Ray and Kilowog come talk to Bruce Wayne. You had tons of extended backstory about the first time Darkseid came to try to conquer Earth. Almost every Superman scene was completely reshot, which is why the mustache thing and all that stuff happened. It's just a different movie. Like, you couldn't release that as an extended cut because it wouldn't make any sense. So it would kind of have to be, Zack Snyder's director's cut or something. They released 2 deleted scenes for Justice League, and they're both crap. Let's see. Darth Primus, that's not a finished product. Robert Storms. Robert said that. I really like Robert Storms after he came on. I've been watching his stuff lately. He's a funny guy, but I'll argue with Robert about that. That's fine. That'd be great. I would love to do that. Yeah, there you go. Listen, Matthew says the only reason the extended cut for Superman happened and the Donner version of Superman 2 was because of bootlegs and fan demand. Fan demand. And that's what's going on. I mean, Captain Cisco, what's going on? Who are you guys? Well, if it's your first time here, let's see. I do appreciate you being here. My name's Ryan. RK Outpost is my YouTube channel. I talk about Star Wars, comics, a little bit of everything. And this is Stieg Kenobi, who says hello there at command, because he's awesome. And he's not a YouTuber, but he has a channel.
Yeah, I guess all my content is on other people's channel, really.
Yeah, he just likes to talk.
Yeah, I'm a leech. I just infect other channels.
Yeah. Richard says they would make a decent amount on special release, so it would make sense to release it unless it embarrasses the first one. That's what Warner Brothers is doing. No doubt in my mind, they don't want to release this because it shows the big mistakes that they made. The fact that the head of the company wanted to push out Justice League so that he could get his bonus and then leave says a lot. And once people see this, I think they will realize what a mistake they made, and they're trying to save face. Yep,
that's probably what it is. They just don't want to admit that they made a big mistake.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of egos in Hollywood.
Snyder cut of Justice League is much more likely to happen than a Lord and Miller solo or Gareth Edwards Rogue One. That's true. Are you talking to me, Morgulls? Or maybe you're talking to Stieg because he just comes on other people's channels.
Yeah. He's saying it as it is. Thank you for your honesty.
Yeah. Yeah, David Ayer. Yeah. Now listen, David Ayer's. I don't think that his movie would have been quite as good. I didn't like a lot of the stylistic takes and a lot of the casting choices in that movie, but there was a ton of stuff cut from that movie. Again, in the same way, the soundtrack was completely messed with to make it just like a bunch of classic rock. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we just said that, Sean. Yeah. I wonder if the reason there's no Snyder cut due to some contract issue with Joss Whedon. No, I don't think that's true. It could be though, Ryan or RC. It could be. I doubt that that's the case. I do think it's about saving face, but anything's possible. It doesn't make any sense why they haven't done it yet. Let's see what else. I think we've talked about everything that was in the stream topics.
I don't know. I haven't seen the topics.
Well, that's right, because Steve came in here last minute because he just likes to wing it. He's not a professional.
No.
You know, he just comes here from time to time,
Yeah,
winging it.
Legit bench.
Yes, exactly. So let me make sure, pull up the stream here. Yeah, Dark Fate flops while Joker shines. Star Wars and John Boyega, Momoa on Snyder. So that is everything. Now, man, I've been talking for a while.
I have a bit of pop culture news that'll probably piss you off.
Let's hear it. It's about Anthony Daniels.
No, they're rebooting Walker, Texas Ranger, and they're casting one of the guys from Supernatural, Jared Padalecki. Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna play Walker, I think.
Really?
Yeah, or strongly rumored to be playing Walker. He's no Chuck Norris, is he?
Oh, well, no, he's no Chuck Norris. Yeah, that's kind of silly. I'd rather have Jensen Ackles play him, to be honest, if I was going to choose one of the Supernatural guys. Yeah, I'm surprised it's not a woman, to be honest. Let's see. That was crazy. You know, I do remember watching Walker, Texas Ranger. I was never a big fan or anything. I thought it was a little cringe, but it's just all about reboots, man. That's all we have in Hollywood right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. There's no creativity, or rather, creativity is being stifled.
Mason W says Ryan is literally out here drinking 2 different Diet Cokes. Well, the other one ran out, so I grabbed a different one that happened to be open sitting there because I just needed something. I was gonna say something, but I don't want to phrase it that way because then it'll be clipped. I needed to drink something. We'll say it that way. Yeah. Stieg, do you babysit? I have twin girls that refuse to fall asleep right now.
Sure, but I'd have to pop over all the way from Norway.
Yeah,
so,
it's a pretty big travel fee.
Yeah, if they're still awake by the time I arrive, you have bigger problems with them. They're probably possessed.
Yeah. Biden Dirty is in the chat. What's up, Biden Dirty? Trying to catch me, Biden Dirty. No other Walker, Texas Ranger except Chuck. Yep. Ryan needs hydration. I do. I'm all out of this. I'm all out of this. I'm all out of that one Diet Coke, so I need another one. That is pretty crazy, man. Legends say when Chuck Norris does push-ups, he pushes the earth down.
I think I read some trivia once that said Hitler shot himself the year Chuck Norris was born. He just gave up.
Oh, man, that is too good. That is pretty good. I do like that one. He figured, well, might as well end it now. I'm not going to last much longer.
Yeah, it's like, oh, crap, they have Chuck Norris.
All right. Let's pull up my meme reviews here. Now, listen, Apollo Patriot is an incredibly prolific meme maker. All right. I got it. or Biden dirty. Good. I'm glad I got it. So let me see here. I don't want to do that. That will show some other stuff. So let's try it like this. Come on, computer. All right, here we go. All right, let me share the stream or share the screen again. All right, so if you guys don't know, there have been a couple memes about me floating around. I don't know if anyone noticed, but they do exist. These memes do exist. Now,
these aren't the memes you're looking for.
These are the memes that everyone's looking for.
Oh.
So there we go. There's a sweet picture of me, right? Just normal. I'm in the middle of talking, I suppose. You're going to have to do better than that. And there's Pixel Ryan. Now that's more like it.
You know what it looks like? It looks like the head of the main character in the original Wolfenstein game.
That's what everyone has been talking about. That these memes are breathtaking. Yeah. That these memes are. I got to show the one that started it all. Actually, we got to open that up. This is the one that started it all. I froze. Right. I was on a Geeks and Gamers live stream. I froze. My face looked like this for like freaking 15 minutes. Everybody was just roasting me. It was hilarious. Judgmental Ryan, 8-bit pixelated Ryan, whatever it may be. Diet Coke, you gross. No, Diet Coke is, well, it's not Coke and it's not Mountain Dew, but you know, there's no calories in it. So.
You know what it really is? It's like, it looks like you're in an elevator and someone farted and you're just about to figure out who did it.
Yes. Fuel the hatred. Best 30 minutes in that stream. Yeah, probably. That was fun. Eric July was on there. I got to talk to him and he just made fun of me the whole time. Yeah. And then of course, you know, this one, there immediately has to be a follow-up to that. So there is the follow-up to that. Geeks and Gamers with the mask, because that's me. Pixelated Ryan, Geeks and Gamers logo. I like this one. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to. So I'm supposed to. Logo cop. So hello CJH. Let's see. I'm supposed to do meme reviews. Green Lantern does kind of look like Green Lantern. So this one, it's classic. I've got the eyes. I could be Green Lantern. That's going to be a solid 7 out of 10. That is the meme review for that. 7 out of 10.
Could also be the Riddler.
The Riddler, I have heard that. Yeah, I'm going to be in HBO Max's Green Lantern. Yeah, maybe. Here's one. Jeremy Griggs, you know him, you love him, or you're going on a stream with him next weekend if you're a hater, I assume. Green Arrow does look like Green Arrow. But this is me. He's reacting. This is obviously, I like this because this is Jeremy Griggs' reaction to the Last Jedi trailer. This is his Last Jedi trailer reaction back when he thought it was going to be good. And he's like, Ryan Johnson, you're incredible. He thinks that this is amazing. So listen, like it. It's a good throwback. A little bit low effort, right? Not much editing involved. 5 out of 10 meme reviewed. So then this spawned a lot of other things. Started putting pixelated Ryan on nearly everything. So here, let me see your pixel face. There's my pixel face. Listen, a little bit rushed. I can tell it's a little bit rushed, but still I like the effort. What do you think about this one?
Looks like someone used scissors.
It looks like they used digital scissors to do this one. But I showed him my pixel face. Listen, good references. 4 out of 10. It takes a little more, right? Get on your knees, scumbag. Yes.
Full Metal Ryan.
Full Metal Ryan. That's what it should have been. Choke yourself. Choke yourself. Church lady. Yeah, church lady would be good. Yeah, I do kind of look like a judgmental church lady. And then, of course, I've been playing Modern Warfare lately, guys. A lot of you see me suck at it so bad. So Apollo Patriot did this one. Pixel Call of Duty Modern Warfare Ryan. There I am, pixelated Ryan, ready to kill some people.
By looking away from the scope.
Well, I don't even need it. It's called a no scope. You don't even use it. So I do like this one. I used this for my thumbnail the other night when I played Call of Duty. So I appreciate it. This is a solid 6 out of 10 meme reviewed.
Call of Ryan, modern Kinel.
There you go. We had more. Now this one I fit nicely in this Battlefield 4 pixel.
Yeah, that actually fits.
Yeah, this one looks really good, guys. Apollo Patriot did like all of these, or almost all of these. Let's see. I think this is 7.5 out of 10 meme reviewed. For some reason, now we have Pixar. Whoops, I don't want to print. This is a Cars meme. I am the Cars, and I am literally this car. This looks incredibly creepy. And Anakin says, "What have I done?" Listen, it looks strange. Where did everything go? Everything died.
Probably drove off.
He probably drove right off, yeah. But I mean, I like that one. I will say I like that one. Here is Pixel Ryan Jones. I'm stealing a PS4, or a PS1. I'm stealing a PS1 because that is what I look like a PS1 pixelated NPC. I really like this one. I'm smiling right at the bag of sand. And I also like him.
It's so good it belongs in a museum.
Oh God, see, this is why you're here, sir, and your expanded universe knowledge. 6 out of 10. Next meme.
Only 6?
Yeah, well, I can't give them all 7. This one does look good though. What do you think?
I think it's an 8.
8?
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you judge that one. It's been changed. 8 out of 10. Next.
Only Imperial memers are that precise.
Now, this one I really freaking like. I like when memes are combined. I love meme crossovers, guys. Now, when Pixel Ryan say he's not a fan of Disney Star Wars, I also like the misspellings, you know. Now, this original meme has a cat sitting there in front of the plate that looks bewildered. This
What?
meme.
Oh, yeah. Where your head should be?
Yes, exactly. It's just like a little cat who's sitting there like, what is going on?
I
And
guess if you do a CAT scan, you can see it.
Probably. I really like this one because I like mixing memes. They say never cross the streams, but you should always cross the memes. I am going to give this one an 8 out of 10 because it's relevant. 8 out of 10. Next meme. God, there's so many. I'm going to have to pare these down a little bit. Here, I like this one. This is like a real big crossover. Fast and the Fandom Menace. I am Vin Diesel, but I'm not even pixelated. Like the one that I'm not pixelated, guys. We've got Doomcock. We have Mary Mayhem. Anna, also known as that Star Wars girl. Jeremy Griggs, who I don't know if he knows this or not, but his character is going to die. Well, his character's not. Paul Walker is. We have Geeky Candy, Drunk 3PO. We have Uche in the back. And I don't know if this has been turned into anyone. I can't quite tell. It's not quite big enough. That's what she said. But yes, this is a great meme. I think, again, made by Apollo Patriot. And since it has so many people in it, this is going to be my winner. This is the one that I think was the best meme of the ones that I picked out that were in my Discord. And this one is the winner. It gets 9 out of 10 for me. You can do better, Apollo Patri. I know you can, but 9 out of 10. Next meme. Well, no next meme because you're the winner, sir. So good job. Good job.
Well done.
Well done, my friend. But yeah, I've got a little meme review section, my Discord. So if you guys want to come join the Discord, I can actually probably get you a link here for that. Should have had all this set up before the stream, but I am not good. I didn't have as much time as I thought I would today, of course. So that happens, though. That happens, guys. Oh, and George Big Dick Lucas, I'm going to share your thing. Don't worry.
That sounded wrong, you know.
Oh, yeah, I know. Here's a Discord invite, guys, if you want to go hop into Discord and check that stuff out, too. Let's see. Now, George, I need to find your cringe video. Oh, my gosh, there's so many memes open, guys. So let's go to Twitter. I have 161 notifications. Oh, my God. Let's just...
I get pissed if I get 10. Not in.
Oh my gosh. All right. So one of my patrons, George BD, also known as Big Dick Lucas, also known as Storyman. You can find the link to his channel in the description below. He did this very cringe, extremely cringe video, but we are going to show it. We have to show it. He got face paint and he put a G&G on his chest, which, of course, when he filmed it, then got reversed. So here it is. Come join us for the hater stream. Yes, I know it's super cringe. And then he tagged me and everything. Here we go.
Hello, Twitter. This is George Big Dick Lucas, otherwise known as Storyman. And I challenge everybody who hates Jeremy Griggs and Geeks and Gamers and hates on him to come on Ryan Kinel's RK Outpost channel. The links are down below for the channels, and you can come on, hate all you want, confront the man himself, get all your grievances off your chest. This is a promotion, and I challenge you to come. I'm out.
Oh, man. You hear that? George Big Dick Lucas just challenged everyone to come. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I just want to make sure you heard the phrasing. He challenged everyone in here to come.
That was quite a mouthful.
It was. But yeah, so one of my awesome patrons, he did that. Was really funny. It is super cringe, but it's intended to be cringe. So thank you for the promotion. That's pretty funny. But we are about to wrap it up here, guys. Please do check all the links in the description. My Patreon is in there. My Discord is in there. Steeg's link, 19K Fox's links are in there. My P.O. box, everything you need is down below. Again, dude, RC from the NYC. What an incredible gift, man. I'm going to wear this Yankees cap as we end this stream here. God, it's so awesome. But do you have, Steve, what do you got? What are your final thoughts about what we've talked about today and what's going on with you?
Yeah, I think we covered all of it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys should definitely check out Steeg. He is not going to Darth Thanos says I failed No Nut November. Oh, there you go. And RC's back. There he is. You're welcome. This is so cool, man. Mary says, the fuck you wearing? Mary, I'm wearing a Yankees hat that RC from the NYC sent me. It's so freaking awesome. I can't believe I got something in my P.O. box that wasn't from you. So thank you. Thank you.
Mary owes me a candy corn.
Oh, gross. Do not try candy corn, Steeg. Do not try it. Just
Everyone is talking about it, and I don't know what it tastes like.
It's not any good.
It's bothering me.
Rockin' in the snapback. That is right. Do you like the Punisher series? I really enjoyed that first season. I didn't watch the second season after I heard the reviews of it. I think Mary also could have been asking. I do need a big gold chain. Yeah. I'll just start an Amazon wish list like Drunk 3PO that has like things that are $1,000 in there. So maybe.
You also need a fur coat and a cane.
That's true. Yeah, I'm really digging this hat. I'm also really digging this this tank top, the RK Outpost tank top. That I need to get the links up to you guys. I'm working on getting this website set up to get the links out there. These are really cool and they're really comfortable. They're better than Teesprings, I think. And it's it's from somebody I actually work with, so that's why it's taking a little longer to get them done, but I think it's worth it. Yankees boo. Yeah, I know, man. I know, but hey, RC from the NYC, send me to my PO box and I'm going to be thankful for it. Hashtag thug life. That's right. That is right. What do? I go back to here. There we go. Jeffrey Turner. Hey, have a good night, man. Mega JD1's in the house. Have a good night, bro. Oh yeah, I already answered that. But yeah, Mary shows up at the end. She probably just got done with toxic femininity. So on Midnight's Edge After Dark for now.
But, yeah, they're doing that on Sundays now, aren't they?
Yeah. So she's probably done with that now. So, but hey, thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it. Please check out my links in the description below. Subscribe to all the people that were here tonight. Steeg and 19K Fox. Check out my Patreon, my Discord, my Twitter, my Instagram. My Twitter is obviously all about stuff I put on my channel. My Instagram is more like fitness and fitness motivation stuff. So check it out. Big announcement tonight, I'm sure, Mary. I am sure. Gold chain with the Sith logo hanging at the end. That'd be pretty cool. But thank you guys very much for being here. I always like talking to you. Oh, real quick. My patron, shout out to my patron before I forget. I said at the beginning, I'm going to say at the end too. Teresa Martin, Master Voss, Mary Mayhem, what an ass, what a bitch, what a cuck, George Big Dick Lucas, Huge Ass, and Seth Saunders. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Your patronship means a lot to me, and I do really appreciate it. But as for everyone else, thank you so much for being here and supporting. No update on the calendar yet, but
can I say something to you?
Yes.
Big thanks to everyone in the chat for being active and engaging.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. And big thanks to you as well for having me on and for being good company, and to Fox as well for being with us earlier. And everyone go sub to Mary Mayhem.
That is true. Mary, now that she's all big news. Now she's on Geeks and this little channel called Geeks and Gamers. But
she is still small to me.
Yeah, she is, and definitely go check out Mary Mayhem. Go check out
everybody. Small. Sorry, Mary.
But yeah, she's doing awesome things. She's got a video coming out soon. I'm sure it's going to do great for G&G. So that's awesome. But Matt's saying, whoop, whoop, Mary's awesome. And he is correct. So thanks for being here, Steeg. Thank you so much. Chat, thank you. Like you said, it's not often that a chat's as engaging as you are. And we do appreciate it. It brings up more topics and it lets us have a lot of fun while we're doing this too. So thank you guys. Hail to the chat. And we will talk to you guys